Welcome once again to Davos, everybody. Can I have the panelists to the podium, please? And this discussion will take the form of much more of an interactive session. So once the first presentation is done, we will first of all invite a few comments from the speakers themselves, then we will have much more of an open Q&A session where you will be asked to put the questions about these critical topics to the panelists. And for this, we'd ask you to use your comment buttons. So when you want to comment, by all means, hold up your comment button. Of course, it's not mandatory, but if you do, then to introduce the panel, Paul needs no introduction because he's had it already. GIANNI CATALFAMO is probably one of Italy's best arguments for the great tradition of Umberto Eco. He's a thinker, a doer, and a writer in the field of communications. Sergei Beret is, well, I'm sure you'll do it. Sergei Beret is president of CROS Public Relations and Public Affairs. Ekaterina Lavrova is PR director of WPF. And Katerina will begin by giving us a few slides. After that, we will proceed to the main session. Katerina.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Ekaterina Lavrova. Thank you for introducing me. I'm 26 years old, and I'm going to speak for the young.
What you say?
Well, actually, I'm not going to speak a lot of myself. I'll give the word to the cases. They will speak for themselves. And here is the first one. While we're having some technical issues, I want to say that a few months ago I faced a problem. When I was looking for an assistant for me, I realized that the headhunter sites are full of CVs, and one of the benefits the candidates show and put on the first place is experience. But experience for me is not a benefit, because experienced people want high salary, and they want someone else to do the work for them. And they just think that they can come, they are so experienced, they will rule everything and make some young staff do everything for them. But I can't understand what is it for. You can find young, creative people who can also do the work. Well, a few cases, as I promised.
When someone faces a medical emergency, there's always the hope to receive help as soon as possible, because acting fast is crucial. Ambulances and emergency medical staff exist for this very reason. And in large cities, such as New York, the median response time is 7 minutes. That amount of time could be okay in some situations, but it is definitely too long when someone's life is in danger. In these situations, first aid is essential. How is it possible to intervene before an ambulance arrives? In 2015, New York's Uber fleet counted almost 15,000 vehicles, exceeding even the number of taxis. Thanks to the large number of cars and a wide distribution around the city, an Uber car can arrive at a person's location in about 3 minutes. Uber was created to simplify people's lives. Why not give it a chance to save them? Introducing Uber First Aid, a system that combines Uber's efficiency with the need to respond to medical emergencies. After proper training, Uber drivers in New York will be equipped with a first aid kit and an automated external defibrillator. Whenever 911 receives a medical emergency call, the nearest Uber car is immediately notified. Once at the scene, the driver can provide first aid to the patient until the ambulance arrives. Uber First Aid can save many lives, not only in New York, but in every city where Uber is operating. Uber, The service created to simplify people's lives can now save them.
Well, unfortunately, it's only a concept, but it's a concept created by students. It won at Future Lines contest last year.
Thanks, Catalina, for completely demolishing the case for experience. Now, first of all, to put the question to the panel, if you would like to make any countering statement for experience instead, or state where you personally see the balance lying, and what kind of experience you're looking for if you're not looking for experience from traditional communications, and what kind of talent if not from traditional PR educational backgrounds.
Well, I can relate to this maybe from my point of view of somebody that has hired, I don't know, maybe 200, 300 people in his lifetime. And so I can share what I was looking for. And one thing I was never looking for is experience. So I'm totally on the side of Katie on this one. And I think, if I take a page from Paul's presentation, the very last, he advised us to hire for qualities, not for experience, for things that can be found in the human being, and that will make a fruitful connection in addition to our organization. And in fact, just one small remark, because he mentioned one of those qualities that are very dear to my heart, which is curiosity, the desire to learn. And in fact, when I was hiring somebody, I always put myself in a situation of saying, okay, what can I tell this young person that will make him or her come to work with me? Because I think if I hear what Paul is telling us, we need to attract talent that does not normally look at our industry as their industry of choice. So we have a selling job to do. We have a selling job to make those brilliant youngsters really want to join our organizations. And the reason you join an organization, yes, of course, it's salary, it's career opportunities, it's, all those things. But I think what they're looking for, and what I always hoped that they were looking for and would see in me, is somebody that was living and learning alongside what they would do. So, somebody they could look upon as somebody that will make the journey together with me. And yes, we don't have all the answers, but we'll find them together.
And it's Sergey?
It's a difficult issue, because we just talked with Paul just before the session, and the first reaction was very simple. We should say why talent versus vice versa experience. Probably both, and finish this discussion and save the time. But now I would say probably a little bit different. I say, look, we could not sell our profession for young people or people with different education. Just because from my point of view, it's very, very difficult to educate public relations. It's not only a profession, it's a style of life. If you when I meet with my student during the first hour meeting, when they already became a student, I told to them why they did a huge mistake in their life just because they came to our department. Because it's not a profession, it's a life. And if you are interested, if you want to be inside of this life, it doesn't matter who are you, what are you, mathematic, or you graduated some physics university, or psychology, or medicine. It doesn't matter. If you are interested of this, this. If you are interested about relationship, if you are interested about social life, if you are interested about different subject, probably this is for you. If not, it's very difficult to sell something. First of all. Second point, I just received a message from the audience that why we are talking about talent and only young people. Frankly speaking, there are a lot of talented people not only on the young age. If we will look to our staff and we will if we will remind who are average employee now in our companies or in public relations department, basically it's some young boy and girl around 25, 27 years old, probably a little bit elder, but there are a lot of people who are much elder and who are very talented. At the same time, you know, from my point of view, what is our task as a, I would say, leader of companies or leader of some public relations activities of the companies, our clients' companies, it's trying to find a combination between experience and young energy and creativity of young people. How to find this combination? This is the most important and most difficult task for us.
Okay, from my point of view, well, you might have noticed that the main point, apart from the lifestyle, which is of course important for PR, for communication people, ability to generate ideas is the main point, and their implementation, experience to do better this way or that way, it can be studied and can be quite well working already.
I think we've had our first request for comment flag in the audience.
Yeah, use this.
Thanks, Jen.
Okay. We can yell.
Okay, in my experience, you know, trying to build an organization is that organizations are increasingly becoming like soccer clubs. So you have extremely young people from anywhere between 17 to 25 doing most of the running around, doing great work, being very creative. And the more experienced people gradually getting into a retirement mode. So even at 32, 33, becoming more of managers and coaches. So I think there's space for both. But the biggest challenge that I face now, running my soccer club, is that of motivation. It's not talent versus experience for me, it's versus motivation. And given the kind of motion we have today, you know, everybody is trying to do something of their own. There is so much excitement in the global commerce space, e-commerce, and I think that's for me the bigger challenge when trying to retain talent or develop talent.
I can say about motivation that young people are really easier to motivate because they often dream of achieving like awards, professional some professional contests and so on. And experienced people who have already achieved all this stuff, they like look only for money often. Well, not always, of course.
You know, it's a very strange discussion. It's look like there are some young generation and opposite of them not young. Frankly speaking, guys, we are very young, it seems to me. Me, myself, I feel myself very young. Yeah, absolutely. You know?
Is my mind still young? So I talked about curiosity, and I want to come back to that because I think it's a defining factor. I said that somewhere between a third and a half of the people who currently work in the PR agency business are not fit for the future. Most of them, I would argue, have made the choice not to be fit for the future. They are no longer curious, they are no longer willing to learn. If they were willing to learn, we could adapt them to new roles. But the reality is that I do think that there is a correlation between youth and curiosity. And I think, and I'm sure the people in this room are an exception, but as we get older, we get more stubborn about not learning new things. You know, there's a strain of sort of get off my lawnism about you know, middle-aged people and Twitter. I mean, I talk to people in their 50s and 60s all the time who still think that Twitter's a fad, or they think it's something for teenage girls. They don't think it's for business. And we, you know, if that's your mindset, go do something else. You're not fit to be in this industry.
Silicon Nervous, perhaps.